Welcome to Self-Love is Not Selfish, hosted by Safe Heart Connections, community host and founder Sam Morrison Wilson. We work with women to help them learn how to love themselves more fully, which by default improves their lives and they get to make connections along the way. We're building a band of sisters that are stronger together and are becoming witnesses to the fact that self-love is in fact not selfish. Hi, everybody. Sam here. Hope you're having a great day wherever you're at in the world today. I am so excited to be with Erica today for another micro interview. She is a confidence coach. If you are new to Safe Heart Connections, we are glad you're here. We are an online community group for women that are working on learning to love ourselves more fully. By default, our life improves and we get to make connections along the way. If you've been around Safe Heart Connections, we're so glad you came back. And I know that Erica has something really great to share with us today. So, Erica, please take it away.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. And honestly, why I'm attracted to this work is for me, no one notices it feels so separate, but for me, pleasure has been such a healing modality in my confidence journey. I actually was talking the other day at a speaking event, and I said I was very blessed in my confidence journey that I got to have the resources to go to therapy. I got to go to coaching, and yet I was still stuck. I really had a lot of self-loathing, self-hate, and I really struggled. And why I share that is if you're struggling with that, I see you and I understand. And for me, pleasure was such a healing piece. And again, I was talking at a speaking event the other day and they said, how? Like, what does that mean? Like, how is pleasure correlated to self-worth, self-love, self-confidence? And what I can share is for me, when I started to have a relationship with pleasure, it started to tell my brain, it started to tell my body that I'm worthy subconsciously, right? Ooh, I'm worthy of really enjoying my meal, or I'm worthy of really enjoying the jazz sounds in this song, or fill in the blank. And so when I started to prioritize my pleasure, I started to get my life back and know that I'm worthy in all of it, brain, cells, body. I really started to feel that worth. And I want to put a little disclaimer here. Sometimes people hear that and it's nuanced, right? Pleasure is nuanced. I always tell my clients don't use pleasure as a way to bypass. If we're in pain or we're in grief or we're angry, we still hold those emotions. We don't use pleasure to, oh, all's well, love and light. It's not a bypass tool. It's a tool for empowerment. So I always like to say that because sometimes people say, so do I not feel my feels and do I just do the pleasure work? And that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is, and I want to give you this prompt is, how can I start to have more pleasure every day? So this is silly, but you could try this. I have an alarm go off a few times during the day and it's just like pleasure. And I'm like, okay. So what I do is throughout the day, and you could try this, see how it works for you or put in your version. I have the alarm go off and I just check in. I check in with my body. I check in with myself and I'm like, hey, Erica, how you feeling? And on like a range, am I feeling like crunchy and contracted and just I'm a little mean to myself? Or am I on the other end of the spectrum? I'm breathing, I'm feeling pretty confident, I'm good. If I am a little crunchy or contracted, I then ask myself, okay, no problem, no shame here. How can I add just a little bit more pleasure? So almost like it's a dial, like I'm just dialing it up 1 inch or half an inch. And for me, that might be something as simple as if I'm crunched over working, I may just take a deep breath, roll my shoulders back. Maybe if I'm working, I listen to jazz music, whatever. But it gives us that power and it helps us become the author of our own lives. And so I invite you to try that. I have tons of tools to help us start with our confidence pleasure journey. But I wanted you to start with that today, if that resonates, to just check in through the day. Am I feeling crunchy? Am I feeling in pleasure? And how can we start to get back to our pleasure time and time again? A, because it feels good, and B, because we're worthy of it. One little footnote I want to say before we wrap is often people say, "Oh, I don't want to do I don't want to do that type of work. I don't want to do the confidence work, the pleasure work because it's selfish." And I'm here to say, as we know, it is the most selfless thing we can do. I feel like when I'm in my pleasure, when I'm in my confidence, I'm in the highest form of integrity. I don't need to grip from anyone. Like I'm taking care of myself, I'm well resourced, and I give back to my community. And then it gives others permission to, oh wow, she's doing it. I deserve that. So that's just a reminder if you're like, I want to, but I'm scared, I have feelings, that's normal, but we're
Mm,
worthy of pleasure. So thank you. That's my little tidbit on
yeah.
that.
Wow. Yes, I'm standing with you in agreement on everything. And what my women have heard me say over and over again, self-love is not selfish.
Mm,
And the way I teach it and the way I encourage people to experience life is when you keep, I use the analogy, keep your cup full. People say you can't pour from an empty cup. You
yep.
absolutely can't. But if you keep your cup so full that it flows over to the saucer of your life, then you can give in some very loving, generous, kind ways without depleting yourself. But if your
Yes.
cup is not full and you're pouring and pouring, then that's not good for anybody. So the pleasure piece of keeping your cup full, that's where the magic happens. And that's where you really can live a life that you love. I'm at my mom's apartment for a couple of days hanging out with her. Where we live in a small space and we don't have a full size bathtub. We live in an RV and I love everything about where I live. I just miss a bathtub every once in a while. So I took an extra long hot bath this morning and I came out, oh yeah. And it's, yeah, and I'm good. And so I love the idea of a pleasure alarm. And it could be
Yes.
something as simple as just making your favorite tea or an
Mm,
afternoon iced coffee or whatever just something. One of
yes.
the videos I did recently on YouTube Short and TikTok and stuff was about food. And I know like I'm on a health journey of trying to honor my body with what I eat and being healthier. And we as women, a lot of times we look at food as a bad thing, right? And
Mm,
it's like, yeah, can I eat that? Is that good or is that bad? And so I did a video saying, what is your favorite snack? Like your guilty pleasure, your thing. What if you ate that and just truly just enjoyed it? Just had this moment of pleasure just because you allowed yourself with no guilt or shame. What would that look like? And I said, comment below because we all want to know what yours is. And the comments were so fun. And women were saying, oh, I just never let myself do that. And I'm like,
mm.
it's not an
Yeah.
all the time thing. So, yes, I
Yeah.
love everything you said, Erica. It was really helpful. I know the women that watch will get some great value from that. I'll make sure your links are all around. So, whether they're listening or watching, they'll be able to click through to you. And do you have any kind of closing thoughts before we wrap?
Yeah, just a reminder too, the pleasure confidence connection is so important. Like I said, it's a brain body thing. Like I'm worthy of this. And also I want to share, I was so obsessed with what people thought of me. I was so like hyper vigilant. What do they think? What do they think? And when I was in my pleasure, I wasn't outside of myself. I was like, what's the most nourishing action for myself? What's the most nourishing action for the community? So I want to say that if you are on the confidence journey, which we all are, right? It's a relationship. Pleasure is a well worth cause for investigation because you're deserving and you're worthy of having juice and
Mm,
fabulous in your life.
yes, 100%. I'm so glad we're connected. Have
Me
a great
too.
day.
Thank you.